May has been a pretty exciting month for a lot of reasons here because, of course, we've been doing our Help Kids Shine campaign for the Niagara Children's Center. Back on the opening day, when we got together to talk about what we were going to do and we were introduced to this year's ambassadors, they put the ambassadors' pictures up on a big screen at the front of the room while we were talking, and two of the biggest smiles of any of the kids I've seen came from Julian and Caleb Cassidy, who are from Niagara Falls. And Mom Julie is with me this morning to talk about their experience at the Niagara Children's Center. Good morning, Julie. How are you?
Good morning. It's a great sunny day, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, are you getting sunshine in the falls?
We are a bit now, yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice, because it was in the forecast. I was wondering when it was going to show up. Julie, tell me a little bit about the beginning. Now, you originally went to the Children's Center because of Julian's situation, correct?
Correct.
So what happened?
So I had him at McMaster Children's Hospital in Hamilton, and he had been diagnosed with a few birth defects from the beginning. So I kind of knew going into it what was sort of going to happen, but you never know until he's here. And then from that point, I was there about 2.5 months in Hamilton with him. And then we got transferred down and were introduced kind of to the Niagara Children's Center and the services that they provide and what we required at that time. And it kind of actually just took off from there for us as a family anyway.
So Julian was, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Julian was diagnosed with a rare form of spina bifida, right?
Yes, a cervical spina bifida. So usually spina bifida is the lower back, and his was the cervical neck portion. So
what did that mean? What challenges did he have to deal with?
So he had 2 surgeries, one starting at 6 days old, and to correct many things. So he had a bowel rotation and some other gut issues. So they fixed that at 6 days. And then at 14 days, he wasn't getting any better and had to have a second surgery to find out why he wasn't getting better. And they actually found a mass behind his chest by his heart that needed to be removed. So they removed that, and everything kind of leveled out. And then he needed to be retrained from the day one, from how to eat, how to, what he needed. Like he wanted to eat, but he didn't know how, and kind of retraining the brain pretty much how a normal baby would function at, 2 weeks old without having any nurturing really from me, his mom. So,
and this is some of what the Children's Center therapists were teaching him, right?
Yes. So he was having struggles for sure on how to eat and how much to consume. So we got connected almost instantly with Sally, the occupational therapist, and I can't tell you as a parent how great she was, how absolutely wonderful. Any questions and anxiety really that I was having, she calmed and was always there for me, and continued to help Julian daily with how to eat and what he needed and what I could do for him. And because it wasn't just eating, like his neck was he had 2 surgeries, so it was taking care of how he needed to be even bandaged and all of that. So it was definitely stressful, and I also had an 18-month-old at that time. So it was definitely hands-on. So
before we get to Caleb's situation, when you're up at MAC, you must have been wondering, okay, how long can we keep this going? You're going back and forth to Hamilton. What's ahead of me? You must have wondered before you realized they were sending you down to the Children's Center.
You know what? You kind of, we were at Ronald McDonald House, also an amazing, can't talk enough about that facility, but you kind of as a parent, think day to day. Like, you can't really think too far ahead because
Gotcha.
you really don't know what the next moment is going to bring.
Yep.
But as soon as he did start to get better, I did think long term, like, how is this going to turn out? Like, what are we going to need for him? And
Yep.
so for Shirley, it was then on my mind how to help him through life and get him going, because I didn't want him to be behind either. So he's come, honestly, full circle, and I feel like thriving because of the impact the services have provided for him.
So you're at the Children's Center, and as you said, when all of this was happening, you had an 18-month-old, Caleb,
Yes.
who was, and suddenly you began to realize that there were some challenges there, too.
Yes, many challenges. And it's hard to be away from your 18-month-old for, 2.5 months, even 2 weeks consecutively, knowing that he's in good hands, but just that you're not with him. So, his challenges started to appear at probably around that time when we had the occupational therapist coming in to see Julian.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just, to be honest, bounced it off her and said, hey, what do you think? Should I look into it for him, or am I just being one of those moms that's being overly looking into maybe what isn't there? And she definitely said, no, let's figure it out together. So it was like, even that is truly amazing. Like, I don't know anybody that would take something on while they're already facilitating one child to do, and also to do another, like piggyback on helping me with that. So
all month long, we've been talking to people about why it's so important to make a donation to the Children's Center, because without those donations, they wouldn't be able to do what they do. As a mom who has dealt with this on a day-to-day basis, what would you tell people?
The center has become, honestly, our second home. The services and the support that they give these children is second to none. The services are critical for their daily life. The community needs to know that there's actually a center that supports all of this. There's a dedicated professional team that strives to nurture these kids and push them so that they can have a normal, fulfilled life, and that the successes will be from any simple thing that they can help with, so that they can overcome and do everything that anyone else could do. So I feel like it's critical that people understand what's available to them. They should really advocate, not just for the center, but there's children in the center. And the community support is definitely much needed, I feel.
Julie, this is great. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Thanks for telling us the story, and we will do our best to make sure that those dollars continue to flow there. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks.
Julie Cassidy is the mother of Julian and Caleb from Niagara Falls. You can help kids shine. You can help the staff shine by going to helpkidsshine.ca or calling them at 688-3550. It's a really easy thing to do. You can become a monthly giver, and you don't even know it's happening, but they know it's happening, and those kids know it's happening, and the families know as well.